If you are struggling to get perfect entry while trading, today I'm going to show you an easy strategy to identify the right time you'd have to go into that trade. Grab your seat and come closer because I'll show you something that's going to transform your trading career. Okay, now to get a perfect entry, you have to use the strategy we are using today is change in character. Okay, that's your chalk. Okay, your chalk. We're going to use the change in character. Now when you get to your chart, you have to observe the movement of price. Okay, if it's making higher highs and higher lows, okay, higher highs, that's on if it's a bullish trend. So if it's a bullish trend, you're going to be having something like a higher high, okay, and higher low, a higher high, a higher low, okay, and that's how price is going to continue, right? Good. So choke, okay, that means change of character. Okay, right now this price is following a particular character. Okay, it's all making new highs, okay, and new lows, right? So the character is the same, nothing has changed. So when price changes its movement pattern, okay, when this pattern decides to change and price start doing something like this, instead of making a new high, it comes like this, and then, okay, you see that it's no longer making a higher high, instead it's making a lower high and a lower low, a lower high and a lower low, okay, a lower high and a lower low. You can see that the character of movement, the pattern of movement has changed, right? It's no longer making the higher highs and higher lows, it's no longer bullish, it's become bearish. Can you see that? So this very act, okay, this very act at the point at which price changes its movement is what we called changes its pattern of movement is what we called the change of character. Okay, and this is where we can identify that right here. Okay, at this level we can identify that right there, that price has changed its character. It is no longer making new highs. Okay, it's no longer making new higher highs. Instead, it's now making a lower high. Okay, so if you want to get an entry, once you notice that price has done this, this is the right time for you to take a trade. And this is the exact strategy I use to take this trade right here. Can you see that? This is the exact strategy I use to take this trade right here. Now, initially, just like I told you, right here we have a bearish trend. Can you see that? So we had a bearish trend of price making a lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. Can you see that? Lower high and lower low. Now right at this point, can you see? Right at this point, price change his behavior. Price change his pattern of movement. Instead of making lower highs and lower lows, it change his character. Okay, this is what we called CHOCH. This is the change of character. And once you see this, an this is a signal that you should get ready to what, to get an entry. So it made a new high right here, but it no longer made a new lower low. Can you see that? That this low is not, let me kind of zoom in a bit so you see that clearly. So look right here that this is the last low that price made, okay, and this is the next low that it made. You can see that the next low is higher than the previous low. That is, price has changed its character. Instead of making a low that is lower than this one, it decided to make a low that is higher than that one. Can you see? So that is a sign that price is changing its character. Okay, and once you notice that, you have to get ready to get an entry. Okay, putting other things into consideration. Now right there where the character has changed, you have to check what happened to those candlesticks in that region. Okay, in this zone, what happened to the candlesticks on those zones? Are they full-bodied candlesticks, or Are they small bodied candlesticks? Are they small body candlesticks? Are they candlesticks that have long wicks or short wicks? Okay, these are the things you have to put into consideration, and you have to check, did any reversal candlestick appear here, or did any reversal pattern occur here? Okay, there's difference between reversal candlesticks and reversal pattern. Okay, if you don't know your reversal candlesticks, we have an ebook. Okay, this ebook right here, we have it, is value packed, and it's going to teach you everything you need to know about candlesticks. So try your best to get it, and you are gonna be glad you got it. So you have to check that region, okay, that zone, to see what happened right there. Now you see the price now starts making what, a higher low, okay, and a higher high. Okay, can you see that? So right here at this level, can you see that price what change his character? Price change its character, and there's been a break of structure. The structure is no longer the usual structure it was following. It's now following a different structure. So instead of price to start making, to continue the usual pattern, it started making what, a higher low. Can you see that? And then a higher high. Can you see that? A higher low and then a higher high. Okay, can you see that? That the pattern has changed. Okay, and when you look right here, this was the last visible high. So right at this level was the last major high, and you can see that price took out that level. Can you see that? And that is going to give you an assurance that price has actually what changed is what character. Okay, because it has taken out the previous high. Okay, so it has taken out the previous high, and that is exactly why I decided to stay on this trade. Can you see that? Look at the point at which I took a trade. Can you see that? Right at this level. Now when price reached that level, okay, when I noticed that this high, okay, has been taken out, okay, I decided to what, to take a trade. Now if I step down to the lower time frame, you're going to see that clearly. Okay, so look at the view at the lower time frame. Okay, when I noticed that the pattern of movement of price has changed, you can see that right here, that it is now slanting towards the upside. Okay, so I noticed that the pattern of movement has changed, and then I noticed that this high right here has been taken out. Okay, that high right there has been taken out. After this retracement, I saw a large body candlestick right here, and that show me that there is a high momentum. Okay, there's a high momentum that buyers are stepping in big time. Okay, that's why I decided to go into the trade, and voila, you can see that it is profitable. Can you see that it's been profitable? Okay, so in order to get a good entry, you have to look at the character of price and when it changes its character. Okay, so when you notice a change in character, okay, when you notice a change in character, you can then look at other factors like presence of reversal candle patterns, like right here, reversal candlesticks and reversal chart patterns. Now right here we have both reversal chart patterns, like we have the double bottom right here. Can you see that? Like a W. Can you see that? Okay, two lows, okay, at almost the same level. So we have a double bottom, and when a double bottom occurs, it tells you that there's going to be a reversal, a change in direction, and that is something that gave me the confidence, okay, to know that price is actually going to change its direction. And then the next thing is when the last high has been taken out. Okay, the last high has been taken out. So, and the other thing is to check the wicks of the candles. Are they short? Are they long? Are you seeing rejection? When you see presence of long wicks, you can see it shows rejection. It shows rejection. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? So it shows rejection. It means buyers, sellers are trying to push price down, but then buyers are having the upper hand and pushing price upward. Okay, so right here we are currently in profit. I think there's a bit of retracement. It's currently in $79, and we have 4 open positions. Can you see that now? This trade is currently having a bit of retracement, but I'm still in profit. Okay, so for me to know if I should get out of this trade, I'm gonna pull up my trend lines and I'm gonna draw that. Okay, so when price breaks through this line, when price breaks through this trend line, I'm gonna get out of this trade. I'm already seeing price going below this high. Can you see that price is currently below that high? Okay, which is a sign that price is gonna go down. But I'm not gonna fret and get out of the market. I'm gonna wait until the trend line is broken. Let me show you that this often occur in the market, and it's something that you should use to always get a sharp and sniper entry. Let's check out other conditions, other similar conditions, so it doesn't look like it was by luck or by chance that we got into this. Okay, so we have a similar scenario right here where price was making a lower high and a lower low, a lower high and a lower low. Okay, and it goes in the same manner, okay, the same pattern until it got to this place. Okay, and right there when it got to that place, it noticed that price did not make a new lower high. It didn't make a new lower high. These two highs right here, they are about the same level. Okay, it didn't make a new lower high. So, and it didn't make a new lower low. Okay, because look at the last low right here, and this is the next low. You can see that the next low is higher than the previous low. That is a signal that price is about to change its character, and when it stopped making new lower lows and new lower highs, what happened next? It changed its character. Okay, and it began making what? Higher lows. Okay, this low is higher than the other low, that's why it's called higher low. So higher lows, and then we have higher highs, higher low, and higher highs and higher lows, and okay, that's how it went on and on and on. So if you want to, if you were opportune to see this on your chart and you want to go into this trade, what do? You have to examine what happened at the period of the change in character. What happened right here? Okay, was there any formation of reversal chart pattern or presence of reversal candlesticks like your hammer, your bullish engulfing candles, okay, inverted hammer, and so on and so on? Or was there a lot of rejection at that level? And so when we look closely to this zone right here, okay, there is a change in character. You can see that there were a lot of rejection. Okay, there were a lot of rejection, presence of doji, indecision, telling you that price is struggling, like there's a battle between the buyers and the sellers, and at the end of the day, the buyers won the battle, and that is why you see that price now started trending up. So for you to take a trade, you have to wait for when price has broken this high right here, this high, this last high. When price breaks that last high, that is the level you are going to enter the trade, and you're going to ride massive profit. Can you see that? Okay, so this is just the strategy, the change of character strategy that you need to get sniper and profitable entries. Okay, now this is the same thing even if it's a bullish trend, like when price is changing from bullish to bearish. Okay, if you scroll back on your charts, you can get exactly the same thing I'm explaining to you, like here. Okay, you can see the price change from bullish, okay, from bullish to bearish, and there was a change in character. There was no longer higher highs and higher lows. Okay, there was no longer higher highs and higher lows right here. That's the last high, and price was came down. Okay, you can notice that price came down and made this low right here. Okay, and then it made a high, and that high is not higher than the previous high, so that high is now called a lower high, and that is why you will know that price has changed its direction, and you can hop in and sell and make some massive profit. So this is the strategy I've brought to you today. If you got value from this video, I want you to smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, turn on notification bell so you'll be notified when we post many more great strategies. Thank you for watching. Bye.